Welcome everyone to the what is it, 7th episode of Plus 10 Melanin? 7 episodes
Yes,
already.
seventh episode. We skipped a week.
Yeah, I'm just yeah, we did. We did skip a week for you know,
It's my PAX
life.
week.
Yeah, it was PAX week. That's exactly what it was. We had to reschedule and then Krystle went to PAX and I'm envious because I won't say jealous because that's like a weird word. I'm envious that she got to go, but I'm super happy that she was able to go and experience it. I lived through her.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's gonna be, just so you know, that's gonna be pretty much most of
A
the
big
subject for
topic.
the
Yeah,
show. That's a
maybe.
huge topic that may happen. But so what have you been playing this week? Well, besides PAX, I
Um,
suppose.
Besides demos at PAX, I haven't really played anything. The whole week was just preparing for the trip and making sure things are in place, and I didn't really play much of anything besides like firing up Mitomo on my phone for a little bit. So I saved all of my, I guess, all my energy to play things for PAX.
Wow. Well, we'll definitely have to talk about all the demos that you've played later on. Mitomo, it's not compatible with my booty ass phone. Yeah, I decided I was going to break down and download it, and Google was like, "Oh no, girl, your phone is too weak for this app. Try again next time."
That's
Yeah,
awful.
yeah. So I mean, it is what it is, but
I'm
I
addicted.
mean, maybe I'm thinking about getting a new phone anyway, so
Do
maybe I'll get it then. I'm sure I will, because I get sick and tired of seeing like these updates and everybody's connecting. Oh, what's your name on me, Tomo? And, all these, what's it, like a personality score or something like that?
Something or another? Yeah, let's call it that.
Yeah, so that's been happening. I know you haven't been playing any games, but you know what? Other than my division obsession, because I have to share for those of you that are actually playing the division. Yesterday was the very first time I beat the incursion updates new mission Falcon Lost. If you don't know what that is, basically, so the mission for that is you have to blow up this APC, which is like this big tank that's underground, and it's shooting like these missiles at you and stuff. And this particular mission has become infamous because the developers made it so hard that the developers can't even beat it, which is, I think, is stupid, but whatever. They haven't been able to beat it, but players have been able to beat it. And I had a very hard time playing it, obviously. And the night before, I made it to the wave number 15, because it's wave after wave after wave of like soldiers, like heavy gunners, people throwing grenades, shotgunners, and stuff like that. And then you have to, in between that, find time to attach bombs to it. I think you like 4 times to blow up the APC. So I made it to wave 15, and my team got sloppy, and then we died. So we were playing it. Yeah, we were playing it for like an hour, and I was just like, I was so pissed. I just left. I was like, really, really, you guys? When people want to play hero? No, we're supposed to follow the strategy. But the
Oh, is that
next,
what happened? Like someone tried to be a hero?
yes, we were doing well, and somebody just said, "Hey, you know what I'll do? I'll just go ahead and jump out." Like, it's impossible, well, almost impossible, unless you're like a tank, a super tank, for you to go by yourself to get that bomb. Like, it's best if you have another person with you so that they can kill you just in case you get knocked down. And this chick,
Yeah.
well, I would assume is a chick because the tune is a girl. She runs out with the bomb by herself, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And the sound went out on the game, so I had to be hyper aware of everything that was going around me, and I ended up being the last person to live. But you can't do it by yourself because I'm basically a glass cannon. Like, I have very low HP, but my DPS is very high, and I was just like, you know what, fuck
Huh.
it. I'm tired of this shit. Why did you guys do that? So I finally was able to beat it the next day and get some really cool gear set. But the other game that I've been playing that I started playing today was Armello. Have you heard of it? It's kind of like an indie game, but
Yeah,
um,
it's the name sounds familiar, but I can't recall anything from
yeah, it's kind of
it.
like Games of Thrones with animals and like no incest. But yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and it's got like a chess element and strategy into it. There's no like real story per se. What happens is like I guess the king was corrupted by this entity called Rot, and it's driving him to it's taking away his sanity, and he is making all these like rash decisions, and he doesn't trust anybody, and you have like all these animal clans like a wolf clan, rabbit clan, rat clan, whatever. And he's like, I don't want to listen to anybody. But then you gain prestige around the kingdom by killing the other heroes that you're playing against. And the more that you kill them, the more prestige you get, meaning that the king will trust you more. And then you get to whisper in his ear, oh, you should pass this law and, you know, fuck over everybody else on the board and stuff. Yeah,
Whoa.
it's really cool. It's really cool.
Well
So
then.
yeah, I've been playing that, and it's been interesting because it has a bit of a chess aspect to it, you know, just like traveling all around and you know, just killing the other killing the other players. But
That's neat.
yeah, it's pretty awesome. That's pretty much all I've been playing. I feel like I played more, but I don't think I did. Did I play anything? I don't think I played anything else. Sadly, I've just been obsessed with the Division. Oh,
I
oh
mean,
well.
hey, if that's working, it seems pretty fun.
Yeah, it's the Division. Oh, you know what? Side note: don't get the Division on PC. Don't do it to yourself.
Is it
Um,
buggy?
it's well, it's not that it's buggy per se. I mean, it's Ubisoft, so they're gonna always have bugs. They are like
Yeah.
king of bugs. But from what I've been hearing, PC has like the most hacks of them all, like detrimental to other people's gaming experience type hacks.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's been kind of a lightning bolt in the community because now you have these people who are kind of like bullies in the dark zone, you know, the PvP zone,
Yeah.
and they have flying mods, like flying
Oh,
hacks, walking through walls, shooting you from behind walls, but you can't shoot them. You know, it sucks, and
yeah.
a lot of
Stuff
people
just
can't get
ruins the
anything done.
gameplay.
Yeah, so whatever. Moving on. I wanted to do just a wee bit acknowledgement to two people that passed away, and I know everybody's like, well, not everybody, but big fans of Prince have been mourning his death, and I just want to acknowledge because although I wasn't a big fan of Prince's music per se, I was a fan of his talent. He was truly a genius, and I don't think there's going to be anybody like him to come after him at all. He's just one of a kind. And the other person is China, the wrestler. Now she's played a huge impact on my love for wrestling in general. She drew me into wrestling, and she also showed me that women can kick ass too. This is when I was a little kid, and you know, you already have that like misogynist thing, like, oh, you know, girls can't do this and girls aren't strong. But China showed me that women can do anything. So, yeah, that's
Yeah, I have to admit, I wasn't raised on Prince, so I understand why everybody's sad. Like, I understand his impact, but I don't feel it because, like, I wasn't raised on him at all. And I didn't know who China was, so I'm just kind of sitting here like, I'm supposed to be sad,
you didn't
but
know
I'm
who
not.
China was, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
no
Oh,
exposure.
look at that. Well, you know
Yeah.
what? There's always one. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's you shouldn't really feel that bad if you don't know. Like it's whatever. But you know, people have different experiences. It's okay.
Oh
That's
yeah, I
fine.
get it. I'm just like that's interesting. That's everybody's sad around me. What's going on?
That's sad. Who's that?
Right.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah. Well, you know, it happens.
Yep.
Moving into game news. So remember the week before when we were talking about how like Blizzard threatened to sue that group who made a vanilla server, and they shut it down because, well, Blizzard's not making any money from it. It's free. So Blizzard,
Yeah.
yeah, Blizzard decided to finally address why they decided to go after this small group of people who were providing a small bit of joy for people that enjoyed the original WoW. So the question was, why not just let Nostalrius, that's the name of the vanilla server, continue the way it was? The honest answer is failure to protect against intellectual property infringement would damage Blizzard's rights. This applies to anything that uses WoW's IP, including unofficial servers. And while we've looked into the possibility, there is not a clear legal path to protect Blizzard's IP and grant an operating license to a private server. If we could push a button and all of this would be created, we would. However, there are tremendous operational challenges to integrating classic servers, not to mention the ongoing support of multiple live versions for every aspect of WoW. That being said, Blizzard did say that they had an idea of making like a pristine realm, which would take care of the people that want a more vanilla server. But it looks like it may not be happening, obviously. I think, in short, this has everything to do with money. And they didn't like that people were getting the WoW experience for free.
Yeah, I mean, their explanation makes sense in a way, but at the same time, I feel like, I don't know, like, it can still be done. I don't know.
I feel like it can be done if they really wanted to. I'm sure that there's a lot of people out there that would rather play the older version clearly, and would probably be willing to pay for it as well. I mean, I don't see what the issue
in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I'm interested in playing the older versions because I find the newer version to be like a job, and once a game becomes like a job, I become less interested in it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know, whatever. It is what it is. I'm sure it's okay, Blizzard, whatever, sure.
Right.
There's a new rumor about Call of Duty. It's supposed to be not released. The date is supposed to be released next week, Tuesday, May 3rd. And there appears to be some sort of document on, let's see, what's it supposed to be called? Well, it doesn't say. It just says Call of Duty. Oh, you know what? It's called Call of Duty 2016. Wow. Okay.
Weird.
Yeah, right. That's a weird. I guess they didn't want to continue the numbers, and there's no real details on it. They said that they're gonna go full on sci-fi, as if flying around and zipping and walking on walls isn't sci-fi enough.
So it's gonna be Halo.
Right. Exactly.
Like. Am I supposed to picture something else? Because I just see Halo.
Yeah, that's whatever. You know what? Because I've been whatevering these things lately because we all know that regardless of whether this Activision does like a copy and paste of each game, the fans are gonna buy it. They're gonna play it like it's something brand new, and they're gonna continue to make millions and millions of dollars. So.
Yep.
Yeah, it's whatever.
I don't get it, but hey.
I don't get it either. I don't get the hype. I'm more of a Battlefield type girl, but even with that, it's just like I don't really get the super hype about it. And it's a beautiful game. The story in every Call of Duty game, the story is shit. But the multiplayer aspect seems to just suck in everybody, and they play it for hours and hours and hours. But I guess maybe some people feel the same about how when I play multiplayer on the Division. Who knows?
I don't know. Yeah, I haven't played a FPS game in a while, but I agree. That's exactly what it is. You get on the campaign, it's like, some people don't even play it, and then you know that multiplayer, and it's just your entire life is gone.
Yeah.
So hey, I've been
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. We'll see. Maybe it'll be good. I'm still waiting for a Call of Duty game to draw me in. Like I think it was Black Ops was the first Call of Duty game that I played. And I understood. I was like, you know what, this is pretty cool. I can see why people like it. But then Black Ops 2 came out and I was like, okay, from what I see so far, this is copy and paste. Like what exactly is
Yeah.
new in this other than like guns and rifles? I don't get it. Black Ops Ghosts came out and I was like, yay, you know what's new about this? A dog and reactive fish in the water. That's pretty
Yeah.
much what's new about this. And then Black Ops 3, yay, we're running on walls and everybody's like, yay, and I'm like, so the fuck what? Like I can get this from any other game. But
Yeah. I'm over it, honestly. Like the last Call of Duty game I played. Well, I played Modern Warfare 2 a lot. I
okay.
tried, was it Black Ops or whatever the next one was, and I just traded it in. I was like, no, I don't enjoy this. So I'm just like, I'm watching them come out, and I'm just like, how are people still excited for this?
Yeah, I feel like
It's
they need to
done.
end
The
it.
franchise is done. Yeah, they need to start a new project. It's
Yeah.
okay. You can let go, guys. It's all right.
It's money. It's money. It's just all it is like it's just money. People they just want money. It's aggravating.
Yeah.
And speaking of companies that want money, Nintendo.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, Nintendo's has a patent on a new controller.
I saw that. Hmm. All right. See how that goes.
It looks like a horseshoe. What are you doing, Nintendo? I don't know how to like react to this. Like, 'cause when I opened the controller, I said to myself, "This has got to be better than the Wii U controller because the Wii U controller is pretty bulky."
Yeah.
And I said, "They must have learned their lesson from this big ass tablet controller." And made a new one and I opened it and I was just like, I don't know what you guys are thinking, but this is not it. Well, this is I can understand why they kind of did it, but not really. Like the diagrams that show up here, and I'll probably do like a screenshot and show it in the video, but it's there's some rumors around it that it's probably a fitness focus type controller and
See that.
yeah, like I guess I kind of get it, but I don't kind of get it. It looks really odd and useless. It looks like something, I don't know, just
I
something
fully
odd.
expect them to surprise me because I really don't know what to expect. Like, I mean, that happened with the Wii. I saw the nunchucks and I was like, what the hell is this? And
Yeah.
then it ended up, being pretty cool. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So I expect them to show me some kind of value there, maybe.
Yeah, I was surprised with the Wii that I was able to play Monster Hunter with the nunchucks because I had to get like the extra peripheral with it, that string part that has the thumbstick
Yeah.
on it. And I was surprised that it didn't take me that long to navigate very easily. And I was kind of skeptical about it when I first did it. But then now I'm just, later on I was like, oh, okay, this is actually pretty cool. But I can't see this as anything but maybe like a driving thing. Like maybe if you got two of them and maybe used it as like a wheel for like a driving game, like maybe
Yeah,
Mario
I was
Kart or
trying to picture
something.
how I'd use it, and I'm like, I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, it's so odd. I don't really get it. It's weird. But like you said, I'm hoping that Nintendo just kind of like comes out and you know everybody gets like this epiphany in at E3, and then on top of that, nobody really knows if this is actually for the Nintendo NX. They're just kind of like putting
Right.
this out there, and they're like, hey, there's a controller, and we're like, okay, for what system? For Wii U? Because nobody but like serious Nintendo fans actually have that, and
Right.
is I'm just more so interested in what the hell's going on with the NX, because I heard that they were pushing it back to like, I think the release of the NX is supposed to be 2017. I'm not sure. It's been really weird with the news. Nintendo's been really odd, but I have a suspicion that all this will be cleared up by E3.
I would hope so. It's kind of where you showcase everything.
Yeah, but they have. I don't think, did Nintendo have something last year at E3?
I do not remember.
Yeah, because I know that. I don't know. Who cares? Maybe they'll come up with something. I'm hoping that they don't like do this whole like secrecy thing, because it's not helping. I don't hear anybody talking about the Nintendo NX like that.
Right.
So they need all the promotion as possible. Like the only thing I hear from Nintendo is Splatoon, Smash Brothers, Pokken Tournament, and any games that come out for the 3DS. So if
Right.
they're gonna promote this, they've got to really like amp that shit up as much as possible. Whatever. Okay, Nintendo.
All right. Yep.
Yeah.
I feel the same.
Yeah. Classic games. So Final Fantasy 3, 4, 7, and 8, they're getting a physical PC release next month. Are you? Yeah. Are you a Final Fantasy fan? I feel like you are, but not really. Like, is
I
it
am, but I haven't played all of them, so.
Yeah, I haven't played all of them either. I'm not a diehard, because I started playing it when Final Fantasy 7 was the first Final Fantasy that I ever played, and then I ended up playing some previous installments before. According to some listings on the UK version of Amazon, they'll be in two PC packs. Like, you're not going to get all 4 games in one pack. You're going to get double packs. And one of them will have Final Fantasy 3 and 4, and the other Final Fantasy 7 and 8. They are supposed to be releasing next month on the 27th for about, I think, $25 each. It looks $25 each pack. Yeah. Yeah, I would rather, because I'm not a big fan of Final Fantasy 8, I would rather them have Final Fantasy 7 and Final Fantasy 9, but I guess maybe they didn't want to skip those excuse me. They didn't want to skip an installment.
Yeah.
But I may get them just to have them in a box, because I am a big collector of anything that I'm a fan of. So I would probably get the PC version and just like never open them.
There's an idea.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. I guess maybe they're trying to promote the fact that Final Fantasy 15 is supposed to be coming out in September 30th, I think it is. And excuse me. Yeah, that's the only thing I'm pretty much excited about Final Fantasy wise from the Square Enix, so maybe. Oh shit. All right, the collector's edition, they had 30,000 of the Final Fantasy 15 Ultimate Collector's Edition sold out.
Wow.
Yeah, and I
That's
think
a
it was
lot.
like $300 for the Ultimate Collector's Edition, and I had plans to reserve it. I'm so pissed now.
That sucks.
Yeah, I'm so pissed now, but maybe that's $300 saved. I'd like to think that. I want to think positively that I'm saving money, but I would rather spend the $300 on that collector's edition set. Whatever. It's a lot of weird news.
Yeah. It's a lot going on.
Are you interested in Paragon? I've been reading a lot about that.
It looks interesting.
Yeah, it's supposed to. The open beta is. Let's see. The open beta is supposed to start on April. Ooh, that's supposed to start today, April 28th.
Oh, whoops.
And it runs through my birthday, May 1st.
Bro.
Yeah, the second phase begins on May 5th and will be playable on May 8th. So this Paragon is supposed to be on PS4 and PC. It's a MOBA. I know some people are like, "Oh, another MOBA," but I'm getting really interested in them now, especially after
I
Smite.
like MOBAs. You know what? When they're done well, they're a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I was telling a friend of mine the other day. I was like, you know what? I was kind of not interested in League. I got into League, and then a friend drew me into Smite, and I was just thinking like, oh, it's probably a bootleg League, being like super hipster about it. But Smite really pulls it off, and I'm thinking that if Paragon is awesome, I may sign up for the second beta. I'm gonna look at some gameplay later on, but it looks like a beautiful game, and it's very interesting looking. So we'll see what happens. The first stress test is supposed to be invites for the first 500,000 people that sign up for the beta only.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the second one, the second stress test, the second phase, which again begins on May 5th, is supposed to be for anybody who signs up before May 1st. So if you guys are like, hey, I want to sign up last minute for it, sign up before May 1st, and you'll most likely get into that second phase. So
That's good.
yeah,
I'm excited.
yeah, I think I'm gonna try it. I mean, if you try it for PC, I'll try it for PS4, and then we can compare experiences. Let's see what happens. Well, sure, sure. Let's go with that. They made a physical edition of the game that's available on the PS4 only, and it gives you skins, 5 Hero Master challenges, and in-game currency for about $60, and you can also buy the Paragon Founders Packs for PS4 and PC that cost. They have 3 tiers: $20, $60, and $100. And so those purchase ideas will actually let you skip the beta and just let you play the game now. Well, I don't know about skip the beta, but you don't have to wait. And I think you
Which
can
is
play it
awesome.
after. Yeah, it's worth it if you're like a really big fan of MOBAs, or if you've looked at the gameplay and you're absolutely certain that you want this game and you absolutely love it. I could see that being a great investment. So, yeah.
Fun.
Yeah. It does look really, really awesome. Mods, PC. Let's talk about this. This XCOM, we were talking before we started recording, Krystle and I were talking about how and there were some games that I need to get. And one of the games was XCOM 2. Well, this is another reason for me to get XCOM 2, but I'm probably going to get it on PC just for this option. Somebody decided, you know what? I'm going to create a mod that adds the Predator to XCOM 2.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So right now, technically, this game, this mod would turn it into Aliens versus Predator. Yeah. So I'm very, very excited for it. I know it seems corny, but I really love it. I really love the idea, and I love the PC community and the mods they make. The mods they make for it. So, yeah, that's something that you guys may want to look into. It. I don't think it costs anything. I know some people charge for their mods, but others, they just create mods so that other people can have fun, and I think that's one of them.
Yep.
Let's see here. Why isn't my page loading? All right, so The Walking Dead.
Oh.
Yeah, the Walking Dead game. Yeah, that's what I said when I looked at the title. We've just finished I haven't finished it, but the release of the last chapter to The Walking Dead Michonne has already released. I think it was released this Tuesday. And I'm glad that I haven't seen any spoilers about it, but then I come upon this article about season 3 for the Walking Dead video game, and they are confirming that there's going to be a returning character. That returning character is supposed to be Clementine, and I'm like, that's really not a secret because you guys ended the game with her. You guys have like 5 different endings with Clementine in it, so why wouldn't she be in the 3rd season? And
Unless we were supposed to get a certain impression that something happened to her and we didn't.
yeah, it's I don't know how that was supposed to be news. Like, I think everybody assumed that she would be in it in some way, especially since she became the main character in the 2nd season. So I don't get it, but it's supposed to start this year. And Robert Kirkman, he says, season 3 of the Telltale series is really exciting to me because the way that the timeline works, season 3 will actually be getting pretty close to where we are in the comics concurrently. Like, the books that are coming out now are roughly in the same time frame that season 3 will be in. There's a lot of really cool, really exciting things coming that I don't think people will expect. So, again, confirming that Clementine will be in it. We'll be checking in on Clementine again, he says. So we'll be seeing her, seeing where she's at and what's going on with her, which is going to be great. And they're stopping at, like, revealing what kind of role she'll be in, but they did confirm that she's going to be a couple years older, maybe a few years older. So, yeah, that's
interesting.
That's supposed to be news.
That's a thing.
That is supposed to be news. Five Nights at Freddy. I'm
Oh.
Why that response?
Oh, it's a great game, or a great series rather, but it's also terrifying.
I have not sat through an entire playthrough of Five Nights at Freddy. I refuse to. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I think I saw Markiplier's playthrough, and he's like really loud, so that made it more intense when he screamed, and I literally jumped so high I fell off the couch, and I just turned it off. I said, nope, I'm not stressing my heart out like this. So
yeah, that game, and people's reactions also get to you. It's just like, but it's terrifying. Like, it's so tense, and then it just,
yeah, I can't really do it. So,
too old for that shit.
Yeah, exactly. The news for Five Nights at Freddy's. So, Five Nights at Freddy's #4 was supposed to be the last chapter to the game series itself, but apparently on the developer's website, they're teasing this this new game that's supposed to be along the same lines as Five Nights as Freddy, and in the background there's like this creepy animatronic head. It looks kind of clownish, and I already know that I'm not going to give this game any of my time because I do not fuck with clowns like that. Yeah, and it says Five Nights at Freddy's sister location. There was never just one.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like,
yeah,
I got really excited. Excited because I will be watching all the Let's Plays and never fucking playing that game ever.
Yeah, I don't. I said maybe I would give it a chance. I don't. I saw that clown face and I said, nope, you will not be getting any of my money. I will just bother Krystle or somebody else. Hey, did you play that game? Is it scary? Okay, I'm not gonna watch. I'll live through you guys. That's it. That's pretty much it on that. Fox News. So
yeah, about that.
Fox News. I am in the firm belief that anybody that actually sits and watch Fox News for anything credible just wants to be like lied to, because they have a certain demographic, which is usually conservative white people.
Yep.
And conservative, casually racist white people. That's what Fox News is generally for. And you kind of forget that maybe they have hobbies outside of being jackasses. And
They do?
and so this guy, he's the host of this segment on Fox News called Red Eye. And apparently him and his I guess he is a huge fan of The Division. Side note, this kind of makes sense, and I'll tell you why. Because Tom Clancy is pretty much every like racist kind of like fuck the government. Who's the people that took over the that government building and they made it out alive?
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't remember what they were called, but yeah.
Yeah, those type of people, you know, like, oh, fuck the government, you know, we're gonna do whatever it is to take over things. Like, I love The Division very, very much, but Tom Clancy is very NRA-ish, and you know, we're gonna do what we want without any rules and stuff, and no due process. And the way the game is set up, as much as I love The Division, the thugs or the rioters, they all seem to happen to have either bandanas on or hoodies and fitted hats.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. But
that's classy.
Yeah. But his rant has to do with Ubisoft, well, Massive, nerfing the crafting system. And I actually just learned what nerf was, and they were like, "Oh, that's making things easier for the players."
Yeah, I think it's like more of an MMO term, or it used to be.
Yeah, he went on this full-fledged rant about how they nerfed everything, and he's like, in his segment, he talks about the skills that every 18-year-old should have. And he finished this whole like weird rant of his. And he's like, oh, you should be able to level up your character in The Division despite the way Massive nerfed the crafting system and allows packs of super geared rogues to gank you in the dark zone. Thanks a lot, jerks. You know, he went on. Like, it's, the thing is that this kind of made this guy, although he's on Fox News and we know they're villains, it made him seem like a human being. It made him seem down to earth, because that's like...
They never talk about anything relatable to like people who aren't rich and privileged, and so that's why they look like weird people who you can't relate to at all. So when they talk about stuff like that, it's like, huh. Yeah,
I was just like, okay, you know what? I can relate to that, because I'm kind of bitter about how the rogues can just go around. People really spend hours and hours a day, and I thought I was bad. This guy, he talked about how he spent 24 hours straight in the dark zone gaining credits just so that he can get an AUG submachine gun. And I was just like, wow, that's dedication. So these are the same people that go around in the dark zone killing the people with lower score and everything. So this is one of those a broken clock is right twice a day type situations. Huh. Yeah.
True.
I didn't know that Fox News had people that had legit opinions on things, but
yeah, opinions on something other than, you know, what I should do with my uterus and many other things.
Yeah. And sort of PAX related. Did you hear about the Overwatch truck that got into an accident?
Yep. Wow. Amaze.
Yeah, I think there was some irony into it because it happened next to a Battleborn studio or booth, or I don't know, area. I don't know. It's supposed to be, the big plan was there was Overwatch Uber cars, and they were supplying like a really cool way to get around PAX East. And one of them got into a fender bender where they sideswiped the car outside of the convention center, and I don't know. There's like no real details about it. They said it wasn't a severe issue, but it was supposed to be. Let's see. It says right next to right next to the Battleborn studio head.
Womp.
Yeah, that is terribly, terribly ironic, and it's also, I don't know. Battleborn is kind of a shitty game. I've been watching videos of the beta. It's cutesy, but it doesn't make me want to play it. So yay, Overwatch, tearing down Battleborn. But yeah, so that was. I know that's not funny, but it kind of is.
Oh, it's funny. No one got hurt, so it's funny.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad that nobody got hurt, thankfully. And God, I wish, I have all these articles up and my computer is just like not loading anything. It's kind of just taking its time loading up the page, and that sucks. Yeah. Anyway, you know what? I already know what this article is about anyway. PewDiePie.
Yeah.
This guy is, I don't hate PewDiePie per se. I just don't get his appeal. I don't know why people like him. I would like to think that his demographic is probably like 10-year-old little kids that have like no social awareness in the world, but
that's what it seems like. That's who he seems to appeal to.
Yeah. He's been on YouTube for about 5 years now. I was bitter for like 3 seconds because I heard he's making like $6 million a year.
Jeez.
Yeah. Making videos about, farting and silliness, and
that's the life though.
Isn't it though? Isn't it though? Like that's why I couldn't even be mad, because I'm like, you know what? He jumped in when, there's almost always been gaming videos around maybe like, I think 2009 maybe is when gaming videos started really, excuse me, taking off. But he got in right when gaming videos started getting popular on YouTube. And I guess I can kind of sort of respect him for what I'm about to say. But he admits that he used to be a pretty horrible person, and that his older videos make him cringe because he said he has said some pretty antagonistic things in the past. And his quote is, "Obviously, I've undergone a massive change from my first video to my last." And this video was in response to unhappy fans. Now, this kind of connects to a previous episode when we talked about how we don't understand why people think that you need to be the same forever. Like, you learn new things and then you change. Like, you kind of adapt to things and you try not to be an asshole on purpose.
Right.
People were complaining. They're like, "Oh, PewDiePie, you're not the same person that I followed before. You used to be like this, and we feel like you're changing into, like, I guess maybe a stick in the mud." But he says, I'm very happy where I am right now, but it still seems that many people are stuck on the old days. Exposing myself here, but I don't know. I don't really like that. And when by that, he talks about how he's, calling characters gay and stuff. And he's like, I still make kind of stupid jokes that I shouldn't make, but I feel like back then I didn't understand. I was so immature and I just thought things were funny just because they were offensive. That's like a big white guy thing.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, they have, in general, I find like white guys are so proud at not being offended at things.
Right, when nothing's aimed at them.
Yeah, so...
Because when something is, it's like protest and blah, 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 and like Gamergate and shit like that.
Yeah, feminist. But
Right.
yeah, he says he's not proud of it. He's been going through his videos and he's been correcting the titles of his videos because um I apologize for this ahead of time, you guys. I'm not trying to be ableist, but one of his titles said the word retarded in it. So he went back and changed it.
Which is nice.
Yeah, it's thoughtful. We all change and we've all done some shitty things in the past. So, all that matters now is that he's trying to correct himself. And he even admits that he's always been a tryhard,
Right.
which is
Well,
hilarious.
you can tell. Like, his videos are blatantly obvious, at least his earliest ones.
Yeah. He admits to being a super tryhard, and he doesn't even get why why other people don't see it. But again, I think it has to do with he appeals to like these white dudes who pride themselves in not being offended by anything. So they find somebody else that they're like, yeah, he says this and wah 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 wah,
Yeah. Yep.
So he's super adamant about his 5-year growth in not only YouTube but in real life as a human being. And he's just telling the fans like, if you don't like the change, I don't know what to tell you. This is who I am.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's entitled to change. Like, he doesn't have to stay a certain way. He's perfectly entitled to change and grow as a normal person. Like, his audience is going to change. That's just how it is. Like, these people, like, you're asking somebody to be someone else. Like, come on now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what people are expecting. It's 5 years. Like, if you don't grow within 5 years,
Yeah,
there's
no
something
problem.
wrong. There's something wrong. Like, you can't possibly have expected him to stay exactly the same beforehand.
Yes,
I don't.
He had to.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. But the guy is still making money. Obviously, there are a lot of people that still love him. He has diehard fans. And
Oh, yes, he does.
yeah, and so he's doing his thing. I respect him for that. I still don't like his videos, but I respect him as a
Right.
person that he was able to address it and be like, look, you guys, like, it's been half a decade and I'm just not the same person anymore. I'm growing up. And these are the things that I'm offering you. I'm putting everything out on the table. If you don't like it, unsubscribe. That's pretty much it. He's still gonna make money at the end of the day.
Pretty much. And then, there's going to be people who, they still like his videos, but they're gonna unsubscribe from him just because he's taking that stance.
Yeah, and
Even though it really doesn't affect them, which is pretty sad. Like, he's trying to become a better person and be less toxic to certain people that he may encounter, and you're mad at him for it? Okay.
yeah, that's odd but typical. Like, we expect that.
Just like, why? Alright, cool.
We
You can't shit on these people anymore, Hook. Okay.
Right. I can't live through somebody who's YouTube famous that shares the same ignorant thoughts as I do. Well,
Right.
Whatever. Fuck you guys. Yeah, congratulations to him for being a decent human being.
Yay.
Yay, decent human being. All right, so I'm going to let you take over. I need for you to unleash the blessing of the PAX East convention. I'm here. I am ready.
Okay, well, a lot went on. I'm super tired, and it's hard to even remember everything. But, lucky for everybody, I wrote a handy-dandy guide. So, I'm just going to go in no particular order. The cosplay was awesome. There was a lot of people with mechanical things and props and 3D printed things. There's a lot of Dragon Ball Z. There is a gender-swapped Bulma and Vegeta couple, which was pretty awesome. There's a Master Roshi. I got pictures of them. I'll be putting them up on my blog and stuff.
Wow.
A lot of Fallout 4 cosplay, or Fallout in general. Like, a lot of it. there was a photo shoot that took place on Friday while I was in the line for Markiplier. And there had to be like 20, 25 people there in costume, like maybe even more. Like there were just so many people. So yeah, costumes are great. There's, everybody dressed up as everyone. There's nothing I didn't see. Markiplier. I waited 5 hours in the line so I could go and hug him and talk to him for like 30 seconds. Get a picture.
Like how did what does this conversation consist of? Please share. I need to bask in this.
Well, I didn't really talk much about me or me liking his videos because I was in line and there was a little girl standing outside the line. We had been in line for about an hour. And she was bawling her eyes out. And I was like, what the fuck's going on? So I find out she came to see Markiplier. She's like, 11 or 12 years old. Huge fan. And they lined up a little bit too late. And they were past the cutoff. And they were like, yeah, anyone past this point is not guaranteed to see him. And then they cut off the cutoff line. And just didn't allow anybody to line up. And that's where she was. So she was sitting there bawling her eyes out, and she was standing near where I was on the other side of the barrier, and I was like, hey, there's a panel tomorrow, and her mom's like, we only got tickets for today, so, we can't make the rest of the con. And I was like, shit. And, like, she had this little card that she made him, and she had this little thing that she typed up. It was like, yeah, I've always watched your videos when I'm sad, and they always cheer me up, and thanks to you, I've been inspired, and I've been filming and editing videos, and blah, blah, blah. And she, like, drew him and, like, some Five Nights at Freddy's stuff and, like, his dog Chica. And I was like, all right, I will give this to him. I'll get a picture of him holding it, and I will text it to your mom. So I got her mom's phone number.
Wow.
Waited in that damn line for 4 more hours. Went up, got my hug. He's built and muscly, and he smells good. Oh, my God. Anyway, I gave him a hug, and I gave him, like, the brief story of what I just told you, and he was like, oh, and I gave him the thing, and he took a picture, and he handed it back to me. I'm like, no, she made this for you. He's like, it's for me, and he was like super excited. And then I got my picture because my friend was like taking 100 pictures a second or whatever, and yeah, and that was it. So I met Markiplier, and he signed my badge, my Friday badge.
Oh,
Tee.
Next year, damn it.
You better. Seriously, I'm buying multiple badges so that I can, like, get some for my friends. You need to be there. So that was neat. Let's see. So the games that I played, I did not play a whole lot because I just...
Yep.
It's all, like, scavenger hunts and raffles and demos and panels. Like, yeah. So there's Perception. And I actually played this, I believe, either last PAX or they might have been the indie showcase at MagFest. I don't remember. Possibly both. But Perception is a game, and I don't remember a whole lot about the plot. I know that you're looking to solve some kind of mystery of something happening. And so you're exploring this house. And you play as a blind woman. And she uses her cane and taps it on the ground, and you kind of see the echolocation bounce off surfaces like door frames and like tables and chairs and things like that.
Wow.
And it's the only way you see. And if you don't tap your cane, you're in complete darkness. But you can't, run around tapping your cane every second because you're in a haunted house. It's going to draw attention, things like that. So you're basically solving this mystery, feeling around for yourself. There's certain items with like you can scan with your smartphone, and I can't remember the name of it.
Okay.
But the character essentially scans it, and it's like a text-to-speech, and it reads it off to her.
Get out of here.
Yeah, and that's another way that you can, like, find clues and piece together the story. And it's really neat. I like the fact that you're playing as a character that has a disability, but it's like it enhances the gameplay because it puts a new angle on it, and it gives you different challenges to work with. Like, you play video games by looking at them. A lot of games wouldn't think to take away your vision as a game mechanic.
Yeah.
But I think it's awesome. And, you're playing as someone who she's obviously there. She's not like the helpless disabled character that you have in like some games or movies. Like she goes there by herself and she's like, I need to find out what happened. I'm going in,
Right.
and she's doing her thing, and I'm really excited for that. Um, so another survival horror game, because apparently that's all I played, was from. That is a mobile game that's being developed by Fancy Rabbit Games. It's got very Silent Hill and like Siren vibes. So
Of course you
like,
would like that.
of course, like the logo has some weird demonic symbol looking thing, and it kind of reminds me of like the Halo of the Sun or the Seal of Metatron from the Silent Hill series. And you play as 7 different characters, all experiencing the same event in the same place,
Hmm.
which is reminiscent of Siren. You play with 10 different characters, and they're all experiencing the same event on the island over the course of 3 days. Um, so with this one, it's on mobile. It's minimal combat. You rely on stealth and sneaking. Now the controls are super wonky, and they were like on the iPad itself, but they weren't visible. So you were just kind of estimating where to put your thumbs.
Ooh.
So I couldn't get very far, and I got killed twice. But it was really scary. I made my friend Kat play, and she like freaked out. She screamed and threw the headphones off, and I made her play because I was like, the devs are gonna get a kick out of this. She's the one who cried when playing Spooky's House of Jump Scares.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, she was a little bit drunk, but she started crying because she was so scared. So I was like, oh, this is fun. So that is nice. Another good thing about that is I asked the devs any support for Bluetooth controllers because I have a Moga controller for mobile games, and they said yes, that is going to be a thing. So no god awful on the tablet or on the phone controls.
That's really cool. I told you that I tried like maybe once to play Silent Hill, and I was just like, wow, this fog is really turning me off. Turn it off. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. And I have Siren. I downloaded Siren, and never played it.
It's
Never played
so
it.
good. Play it tonight.
Yeah,
It's
I
so
don't know.
good.
I'm such a scaredy cat sometimes because when I saw that, I think that's a game where you don't have any weapons or anything, right? You just like
Certain levels you will have a weapon, certain ones you don't. But most of the game relies on sight jacking.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just like any game where like I guess it comforts me in game to have a weapon. So if I know that if I don't have something, I freak out. Same thing with like Outlast. Like all you have is a camera. No,
Right.
I'm good. I am good. I need to have the comfort of this imaginary object. So
Yep.
yeah, but I'll play it though. I think it sounds really cool, especially the MOBA aspect. So I
Yeah.
could get into
How it
that.
goes.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's see. What else? There is Dead Yards, or wait, I think that was it. Dead Years. That's what it was. Yeah, I was like, that's not right. So this is a survival, not survival horror, like survival adventure zombie game.
Hmm.
And you and your dog are the last, non-zombie people remaining on the planet, or at least where you are. So your aim is to survive. But I know that's kind of like it's kind of been done.
Yeah.
But the different aspect of that is the dog is a fully developed character who you can switch places with at any time.
Hmm.
And, just like the human character, you've got skills, you've got different things like that. Like, you're small, you can get into different places, maybe your sense of smell or being able to sense movement from further away. And then, of course, the human has certain benefits, but it's like a full character that you can level up and do different things with, like not just a companion. It's like, secondary character. So that's really neat. I did play a couple minutes of that. It was very early stages, so there wasn't really a whole lot to do.
Okay.
But I got a nice feel of the game. I like the graphics. There's combat, you can smack zombies with your axe or whatever, and the dog can go and charge them. So that's pretty neat. So that looks pretty cool, and I definitely want to play that. So I went to Kiro's Games. I'll just use the English interpretation or whatever, to play some Orion, a Legacy of Coriodon, and meet the CEO of the company, founder, Mediba Olivier. He is super nice and super awesome. I talked to him for a couple minutes until one of the demo spots is free. And I sat there, played through the demo, got a feel for the combat, because I think I mentioned this before, but um, I got the game, I downloaded it, but I didn't really have time to play before I left
Right.
for PAX. So I got up to, like, I don't know, the wedding or something. I
Oh
didn't get
yeah.
to start combat. Um, so I got to do that for the first time there, and it was really cool. And he was really excited about it. A lot of people were stopping by. He had a lot of support. He was tweeting and all that stuff, and he seemed to be having a good time. Try to get some info out of him. I was like, "What's next for your studio?" And, what's blah blah blah. But there's in such early stages that there wasn't really anything. So everything that's next revolved around that game, and continued support and patching bugs, and then seeing what comes after that. So
Yeah, that game is absolutely gorgeous, and the combat controls are amazing. Like, cause I thought that it was gonna be like a beat 'em up, like a simplistic beat 'em up,
yeah,
but the controls actually
no, no.
get way more complicated.
Yeah, I was like, "Ooh, this is nice." And I never played with a controller, so I'm sitting there like trying to adjust to it while sitting there and like sucking horribly in front of him, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" But it was cool. I finished it that way. It was pretty neat. Let's see what else happened. So, aside from the games, the convention itself was pretty awesome. There were, some ups and some downs. They had gender neutral bathrooms
That's
this
awesome.
time. They had turned some women's bathrooms into men's bathrooms, and then turned other women's bathrooms into gender neutral bathrooms. It didn't look like they turned that many, if any, men's bathrooms into gender neutral. So I kind of like squinted at that. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Why? That's odd.
Yeah, I guess we're boys. Got to be more comfortable. Nah. I mean, I was walking past people who are either male or non-binary or whatever, and I'm just like, okay, we're all peeing. Like, this doesn't feel weird at all. I don't understand what you guys are freaking out over. Oh wait, you're not freaking out over anything. You're just prejudiced. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I thought that was neat, and I'm glad that they're being inclusive.
Here's a gold star for you trying.
I know, like, yay, good effort. On that, the diversity lounge, that was pretty cool. I know there's been some criticisms that the diversity lounge is kind of off and I guess a different side of the convention, but it is a pretty busy hallway, and I think another aspect of that is getting them a little bit far so that people can feel a little bit safer than having it in like a busy area where everybody's passing by and all this stuff.
So
Um,
what's in the diversity lounge? Like what what makes it so, other than the people that are in there, what makes it so diverse?
it's basically for either developers or people selling things that um, relate to like either disabilities, like Able Gamers was hanging around there, and they aim to make like games more accessible to people who have disabilities, can't use regular controllers, or maybe have sight impairments, hearing impairments, things like that. Um, and then they have like Gamer X and like LGBT gamers.
Hmm.
They'll have a lot of like gamers and cosplayers of color, like so they had a lot of different stuff there. Uh, and then they had the what was it? There's Diversity Lounge, and then there's the AFK Lounge, which is basically a place to go get a breather. No matter who you are, you all treated the same in there. So if you were to be like Markiplier or PewDiePie or somebody, you're gonna come in there. There's no like autographing or interviewing. Like it's basically where someone can go to come down for an anxiety attack. They can, if they're experiencing sensory overload, they can go in there. It's a very chill, quiet room. And I thought that was actually nice, not just for those reasons too, but like, families with children, because there are people with very young children and older folks and stuff like that. So it was pretty neat. And that was also kind of out of the way of other convention stuff, which that actually makes sense because AFK Lounge. So that was neat. Um, so there's a lot less swag this year. In the first several years, they would literally assault you with swag. Like you would get t-shirts and bags and hats and arm warmers and all
Posters
kinds of
probably.
things. Posters just thrown at you. Like the swag bags are literally 2.5 feet tall. Like there are these huge bags that you threw over your shoulder, and
Oh,
they
the
would give you all.
giant bags?
Yeah, the giant bags.
Wow.
And now this year it was just like a plastic bag, almost like a duffel bag, and that's fine. But there was like nothing in it, because even the last year that I went 2 years ago, there wasn't a whole lot in our swag bag, but we got like PAX edition Cards Against Humanity cards at least,
Ooh.
and they came inside like these oatmeal packs, which we actually tried the oatmeal and it was terrible.
Ooh.
And they've like warned people on social media like, do not eat the oatmeal that came in your swag bag. It's awful. And of course, I ate it, and it was awful. So they at least gave us stuff like that. The only thing that was of value in there was, I think it was a Kingston or HyperX Corsair. No, Steel Series. It was a QR code, and it like entered you into a competition or whatever. So that was the only thing that, yeah, was worth anything, and I threw the rest of the bag away.
It kind of sucks because all these conventions, they're doing the same thing. Like I remember when I used to be able to go to New York Comic Con and not spend any money whatsoever and come home with like two big bags full of free stuff that they throw at you. Now it's like, even if you paid VIP, I paid for some VIP tickets one goddamn time, and I was expecting to get like a nice bag with, you know, like really cool goodies in it, because I think the VIP ticket that I paid for was like $500. I got like a lanyard, quote unquote limited edition lanyard, some flyers, a pen, and a comic book. Pissed? Yes. Very pissed.
That's, yeah. Wow. Yeah, and I'm like, I don't have to get free stuff at conventions when I go to, but the thing is, if you set that standard, then people are going to expect it, and then they're going to be like, what? Why isn't, yeah. So, there is that, and I was like, whatever. Because I bought the Logitech G933 Artemis Spectrum headset. Yes, it's very nice. I'm using it right now, actually. Everything sounds amazing. And so that was cool. And I got a couple other things. I got like Twitch bag, and I bought some Pusheen plushie things. And,
oh.
Yeah, so I got some stuff for some people. And then, so I wasn't really interested in anything AAA, which is funny. Like, Riot didn't have a booth there. What they had, it was, I think it was Boston University. They were sponsoring a competition. But Riot themselves were not on the expo hall floor. They had I can't remember the name of it. It was like an installation. It had like a several hour long wait. But they had like set up this entire environment thing in one of the rooms. And it was like, you go through it, and there's like trees set up and lighting and sound effects and all that, and like steam. I didn't go in it because I'm not that big of a fan to wait like 4 hours in a line. I don't know what the hell it is. But so there's that. But nothing else AAA. Like Bethesda, the only thing coming out is Cold Harbor or whatever it's called, the next expansion. But they didn't have anything about that at PAX. They were just playing the Automatron DLC video and some stuff from Elder Scrolls Online, which I'm not playing. Let's see, Outlast 2 is there, but that was a super long line. It capped really quick, so I did not get to play. Overwatch, which there's already so much stuff on. There's nothing really like super new. There's wasn't really a whole bunch of like new stuff. Bless you. But that's pretty much yeah. But there were a couple downsides.
Okay.
First of all, we didn't get a whole lot of support from PAX staff, and I don't know if they're, what they're saying is true about the filming or whatever. Basically, there's a diversity panel, not diversity in games. And this little snot-nosed punk-ass bitch of a 17-year-old boy comes in there with a Trump supporter hat and films the whole panel. Of course, that's going to be a red flag to us, seeing as like crazy people like Gamergate, and one guy that was on his way to the chick's house and had a whole bunch of firearms in his car, and
what the fuck?
People out there are just completely out of it. Like, he was literally going to kill this person over something about diversity in games, heading to her house with firearms in the back, and the cops caught him on the way. So, everyone's like, oh yeah, social justice warriors are making a big deal. It's like, you guys literally try to kill us over video games. Of course you're making a big deal. Like,
for speaking about diversity in video games.
You can't be trusted. It's really sad that we're making a big deal like this, and it's absolutely justified. But it's basically Gamergate was like, no, he's not affiliated with us.
Yeah,
He's
okay.
blah blah blah. But they searched, and apparently he'd never used the hashtag before or something like that. But long story
So,
short, he ended up blocking his Twitter, because he's probably getting blown up right now, and it's like, what were you expecting? Like, good job. Um, but I'm assuming that will just die away because he's just some kid, and he's, no one cares. He's not important. Um, so there's that. The people working security at the convention center were kind of careless. They had a lot more intensive bag searching this year for obvious reasons. But some of the people I heard, like someone's camera got thrown. Like they looked and they slid the bag across the table, and like the camera fell out. Like all this stuff. Yeah, and like the person just kind of like shrugged their shoulders, and I'm like, dude, you can't be throwing people's stuff around. So that was the thing. I didn't personally have an issue, but
yeah, but that's still somebody's property. And you know what? Cameras, photography, anything is usually pretty expensive. So
yeah, they're not cheap.
Yeah.
And if he was there for work, then you just screwed him out of a camera. Like that's like he could have been a media person or whatever. So that sucks. So they're kind of like that. And then there's just the assholes that go and just only care about themselves. Apparently, some guy stole 2 of the gunner glasses off a display.
Now the gunner glasses, those are the video game glasses?
Yeah, the ones that tint the screen. They filter out like the harsh light so you can look at the screen longer without getting eye strain, and helps you focus. They have like a slight, not really prescription on it, but it's just like a slight like sharpness to it to kind of help you like see details in games better. I have a pair, and they are very nice. Actually, a lot of people at my job use them because we stare at screens all day, and a lot of us have like 3 screens. Some of us have 4. So yeah, they're actually pretty good for work and gaming. So yeah, he swiped 2 of them, and it just makes me sad because like that's less stuff they're gonna bring and have on display for people to try and stuff, because dishonest people are just just buy it. You already spent the money to get to the con. You're saying you can't afford to buy the glass? Like, I don't know. People who steal really bothered me.
So they caught this guy?
I'm not. My friend saw him do it.
Okay.
But he was too far away from the booth to actually alert someone at the booth, because it's like, for people who haven't been to PAX, it is jam-packed. It's shoulder to shoulder pretty much everywhere inside the expo hall.
Yeah,
so if you're like 10 feet from someone, by the time he got there, that person could be long gone. And that's essentially what happened. But I don't know. Other than that, I'm kind of up in the air about whether or not I want to go next year, because with getting less and less out of the convention, like, it was still cool. The concert was okay, so it was like whatever. The parties, I didn't actually get to one, but that's a long story. But like, it's kind of like, it's almost bordering on too much trouble to be worth it. But that depends on what they offer next year. So I'm just going to buy tickets regardless, as long as I, get it on time, because they go in like 5 minutes.
Right.
And if I determine I don't want to go, I'm just going to sell my ticket.
Yeah. I've heard some up and down things about PAX. I mean, obviously there's a shit ton of hype around PAX. There were a couple of YouTubers that I kind of sort of wanted to see, other than Markiplier. So, I don't really fangirl over people like that, but it would be nice to see that person in person and see if their personality really matches who they are on YouTube.
Right.
And just show support any way that I can. Just say like, oh, hey, it's nice to meet you, and I watch your video.
Inspire me, all that blah blah.
Yeah, so that's really cool. But conventions, I already told myself, I said I'm probably not going to go to New York Comic Con this year because, like you said, it's become almost too much trouble for me to have to go through it. I mean, just getting the tickets is just a wild ride, and God forbid you don't get a ticket and then you have to depend on trying to find it somewhere else, and people jack up the prices and stuff.
Oh, they scalp you, yeah.
Yeah, and then you pay those ridiculous prices for the tickets. You get the ticket, and then they don't really offer as much as you thought. Like, it's not really as much as it's hyped up to be. So I don't know. I didn't see that much hype about PAX as I thought I would, because I my Facebook kind of like it grows like crazy, and I see a lot of people that said that they're going to PAX, but I didn't hear anything much. I just like I saw pictures of cosplayers and Markiplier. That's all I really saw on my timeline for PAX
That's all you
East.
need to see.
That's all we're gonna need to see. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll get some press passes for the both of us for next year. We could probably try and get some press passes and just go from there. We'll play it by ear because I at least want to go once where I'll say I went to PAX East and just give my honest opinion of everything that goes down. Hopefully next year it will be so much better. Maybe, who knows.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, they seem to be listening to feedback, like with the whole diversity thing. Not, there's some stuff that they could have gotten a lot better,
Yeah.
but it seems like they're listening to the input. They're just kind of like clumsily going along. So hopefully they can get it a lot better next year with a lot of different things, and it'll be a PAX worth attending. Hopefully.
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit concerned about that whole like filming situation with the diversity panel because of the fact, like you mentioned, we are just talking about, hey, what would be really great if you would just like not say that games are realistic, but then don't have realistic expectations as in diversity, because people of color and black people, Asian people, Native people, we all exist. And it would be really
Right.
nice if we saw something other than white people in games. And there are a lot of white people that get upset because we speak up about these issues. And it's fucked up because you'll have people in your inbox harassing you and cursing you out just at the mention of, hey, it would be really great if we had a black female lead, or maybe you guys shouldn't complain about there being an Asian lead or something, like, and they'll curse you out. The other day I made a statement, sort of not, it's not video game related, but I made a statement about, those stupid prom proposals that people
Oh yeah.
are doing now. And what's really pissing me off is how that when there's interracial couples, a lot of times there's racism in
Racist
it.
proposal.
Yeah, there's racist proposals. If there's a white male, especially that I'm looking at, there's a white male and a black female. There's quite a few of them where the white males propose with like chicken and shit. And there was one where he put like Kool-Aid packets. He gave her a watermelon and chicken and asked her out to prom. And I said,
That's a death wish.
yeah, that's a fucking death wish. As I said on the thread, I said, let me tell you something. I would kick his ass, I would kick his parents' ass, and then I would have to speak
Yep.
to my daughter about her self-esteem, because there's no way I'm gonna let you go to prom with somebody that does these microaggressions. But I think that's a pretty good big aggression. That's not even a microaggression. That's just like,
Right.
blatant, I'm racist and I'm trying to be funny about it. Haha, we're all well people. I don't see race. This is really funny. No, the fuck, it's not funny. And
Yeah.
this guy, thank God Facebook has this filter thing where they filter out messages from people that you don't know, most of the times anyway. And this guy, he writes me a message. He's like, you need to get a life. It's just a joke. White guy, of course. You
Of
need to get a
course.
life. It's just a joke. People like you keep racism going. What?
I
Yeah.
love that line. It's like, yeah, just talking about it keeps it going. Not, the way it's instituted, just, talking.
Yeah, it's been a rough one, but the diversity panel, I'm surprised that they let that person with that Trump hat. If I were like a security guard or if I were a staff member, I would be like, you guys need to keep an eye on that person, because in general, Trump supporters are not the most
Not peaceful.
open to diversity. So
Right.
I
He's
don't.
there antagonizing, like making people uncomfortable, which you shouldn't be doing.
He did.
Apparently, what you have to do is like declare on the panel's rules that there's no filming, and as long as you put it in writing somewhere, I think it's you can legally enforce it. but that wasn't discussed or offered or anything, apparently, you know, when they were doing the panel or whatever, so they did not know. That kind of sucks.
Yeah. He was obviously there to be a douche. And,
yeah, I'm like, really?
yeah.
How much attention do you need?
Yeah, and it's just, you know, there's a learning curve for these convention creators, for those that are in charge over there, and that's cool. But sometimes people get harassed. Well, most times people get harassed over these things because they want to be famous and they want to be seen as some type of hero. And these SJWs, you know, they're more interested in forcing their diversity down our throats and stuff, and they put people's pictures up and everything, and just no, it's not safe anymore. So out of precaution, I probably would have alerted somebody to that, but you know, whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, now we know, so now we know how to make sure people aren't doing that next time, because...
Yeah, I wonder how complicated that can get, though, you know, where they're just like, oh, well, First Amendment, and I should be able to wear whatever the fuck I wanted to wear, and, you know, everybody's offended at everything, and this is America.
I mean, they can say whatever. First Amendment protects them, but they're in a, you know, private event, so their rules go. And that's one thing they always forget, like, it's not a government-controlled space, and, you know, your freedom of speech isn't being threatened legally. So within a private event, they have every right to kick you out if they think you're antagonizing.
Absolutely. Well, I think maybe, hopefully somebody or somebodies spoke to the people in charge at PAX about this issue, because they do need to think of their panelists and just people's safety in general. I mean, they tried. Here's a star for trying, but you know, things like that, they make me a little uneasy. So,
right.
But I'm glad that you were able to go and share your experience. I'm glad you had a great time. I'm definitely looking forward to at least going next year.
Yeah, you will have a great time. Seriously, I hope you get to go.
Well,
I'm dragging you with me.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, okay, we need to go here, we need to go there, we need to do this, we need to do that. I want to experience everything that I can within that weekend, and I'll probably take quite a few days off after that so that I can rest.
You'll be exhausted. Seriously, you will just be people like, oh, you're exhausted. I thought you went on a vacation. I'm like, yeah, vacation.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, we'll go with that so-called vacation. But I'm sure it'll be fun just to experience it, and then to see you and other people, and you know, I mean, we'll try and get some parties in next time. We've got to at least plan for that.
Yeah, there's always more time to plan for parties.
Pretty much. All right, so game releases.
Yes.
The game release, I'm a little curious about this, because remember we were talking about Corpse Party that they're supposed to be bringing over?
Yes.
I think this is the same game, and it's supposed to have come out this week, Corpse Party for PC. It didn't come out for, excuse me, the 3DS. Goddamn allergies.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah. Yeah, my eyes are killing me. I feel like they're going to fall out my head. Corpse Party. It's coming out in, well, it has come out April. It came out, I guess, it was 3 days ago. Wednesday, I guess it came out Monday. And it looks like it's having mostly positive reviews on Steam right now, so I'm probably going to cop that and see what that's about. If it is indeed the same game, and I'm pretty sure it is because it looks very familiar, you'll be hearing about it next week, and I'll let you know. I'll let you guys know if it's worth the hype and the waiting for it on the 3DS.
Yeah, because I'm curious.
Yeah. Hitman Episode 2, Sapienza. I guess that's what the episode is called. That came out for PC, PS4, Xbox One. That came out on the 26th. Alienation came out on the PS4 the 26th as well, and Lost Reavers for Wii U, for those of you who care. Oh, looks like I lost Krystle. That came out on April 28th. I'm sure you guys hear like the Skype thing going through. Holy shit, I lost her. And Yokai Watch 3DS for April 29th. And that's actually for Europe in the 3DS. Okay, so Krystle, I'm having a really hard time trying to get Krystle back on Skype. It looks like her internet went out. So I apologize to you guys for that. I am going to have to close the show out without her. That really really sucks. But yes, you guys, I thank you so much for listening to us as we fangirled, well, Krystle fangirled about PAX and talked about Markiplier and her experience at PAX. If you would like to follow us on Twitch, of course you would. My name is the Grim Freaker on there. Hers is Krystle KillJoy. She's also Krystle KillJoy on YouTube, and I am the Grim Freaker on YouTube. There's pretty much nothing else going on. If you guys really want to catch up on the second and third chapter of The Walking Dead Michonne, I will be posting that up. Also, I have a series called Storytime with Grim where I talk about shit that I go through every day or in the past. So again, thank you so much for joining us. Sorry Krystle couldn't be here, but we do enjoy hearing from you guys. If you have any suggestions or any topics that you want to talk about, any games that you like us to review, please comment on SoundCloud comment section or YouTube, depending on where you're hearing this. And I'm so sorry for sneezing.